Welcome back. In the last video lecture, we learned about the rise of big business and corporations in the late 19th century. During the Gilded Age, several entrepreneurs rose up the ranks and became the great captains of industry, otherwise called Tycoons. The two most well-known tycoons of the era were Andrew Carnegie and John Rockefeller. Andrew Carnegie, a poor, self-made Scottish immigrant, made his fortune in the steel industry. Carnegie learned the Bessemer process for making steel in Europe and brought it to America. Eventually, Carnegie controlled the largest steel company in the world and was at one point the richest man in America. Carnegie was renowned as a great philanthropist. A philanthropist is someone who donates large sums of money towards charitable purposes. Carnegie used his wealth to enrich the rest of society by funding the construction of libraries, museums, hospitals, and universities. In his famous essay, The Gospel of Wealth, Carnegie argued that the purpose of wealth was to use it for the betterment of mankind. He famously said, "The man who dies rich dies disgraced." Another tycoon, John D. Rockefeller, made his fortune in the oil business. Using a combination of what is known as vertical and horizontal integration, Rockefeller's Standard Oil Company made him one of the wealthiest men in the world. Horizontal integration is accomplished by purchasing and combining many companies in the same business into one large corporation. For example, Rockefeller bought up as many oil refineries as he could. A vertically integrated company owns all the different businesses on which it depends for its operation. For example, not only did Rockefeller buy up oil refineries, he also purchased companies that dealt with other aspects of the process, such as oil wells to extract the oil from the ground, the railroads to ship it, and the vendors that sold the finished product to the consumer. Through these practices, tycoons like Rockefeller were able to create monopolies by controlling most of, if not all, of an entire industry. Rockefeller and Carnegie were not the only tycoons of the Gilded Age. Cornelius Vanderbilt and Jay Gould owned several of the nation's railroads. J.P. Morgan was the wealthiest banker of the day. At one point, he even bought out Andrew Carnegie. Henry Ford was a pioneer in the automobile industry. These men amassed unprecedented wealth. Some argued that the Carnegies and Rockefellers of the world were smart, talented men who achieved success through their own hard work and ingenuity. If they pushed others out of the way in the process, then that was just the law of survival of the fittest. This view is consistent with what's termed social Darwinism. Others characterize these tycoons as robber barons, whose ruthless business practices unfairly drove smaller competitors out of business. In the next video lecture, we will take a look at both sides of this ongoing debate about the benefits and drawbacks of a free market economy.